Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about my individual reflection throughout the project duration of ITEC 7415, the Master's Project. First, let me introduce with our team members. We have 4 members in the team: Bipin, Ashish, myself Ramu, and Lakmal Parira. Our project client is Career DC Group Private Limited, and our stakeholder is Career DC as well as project supervisor Mr. Khalid Ahmed. The project start date is 27th of July 2020 and it was finished on 22nd of October 2020. In this reflection, I am going to talk through project overview, detailed description of the projects, sprints and my roles during the sprint 1, 2 and 3, various project deliverables as well as my individual feedback and recommendations. Now, let's talk about the project. What exactly was there in the project? The project was about a vehicle repair workshop which was using the existing manual paperwork for all the repair and maintenance process. They wanted to upgrade their manual process into an automated one so that they can compete more efficiently in the market and gain more profit. So the project was about manual booking process that presented with a lot of paperwork. Since there was a lot of paperwork, there were high chances of mismatch and it was hectic for the client to get the available slot. However, if they were to automate into the repair management process, there would have been much easier for the clients to book the real-time slots, to make the cancellations easily and to go easily with the payment process. Also, the automated system would definitely reduce the paperwork and there would be less manpower or less work for the employees. So the main goal of this project was to simplify the existing manual process and automate them into a new and latest technology. Also, another aim was to meet with the end users to know the system requirements and analyze the manual paper flow and relevant departmental tasks and convert them into the automated one. And last but not the least, the main goal of this project was to satisfy and complete the client's need. So the whole project was divided into 3 sprints where we worked as a team in all the sprints. The sprint 1 was consisted of team formation and project selection. It also consisted of literature review and planning, methodology and study of the as-is model that was present within the current project. Sprint 2 consisted of analysis of the data that were collected during the sprint 1 and designing the 2B model through BPMN, and sprint 3 consisted of getting constant review and feedbacks from the participants or the customers and make the improvement in the system. This is the Gantt chart that indicates the timeline of our project. As I already told you, it was started on 27th of July and ended before 22nd of October. So now let's talk about sprint 1 and what I did actually during the sprint 1. The sprint 1 consisted of getting a lot of user stories and dividing them in all the 4 members of the team. So I work typically on the sprint user stories 2.1 to 2.8. Some of the sprints included the things such as an admin, I want to add a new employee so that I can create the login details for the staff, as well as an admin, I want to upload the information regarding the vehicle service so that it is recorded in the automated system and there is no need to record the information of the same vehicle when it comes second time for the service. So for this, we worked as a team and I created a system that easily allowed for sign up or login if the client or the customers or the employee already has their login details. If there was no login details, then it was easy for them to sign up using their email address and their own chosen password. So this shows how we did during the sprint, how I did during the sprint 1. Also in the sprint 1, I worked on literature reviews so that I could understand the problem and I could understand what are the things that had been done in the past by different people. So I found two very interesting literatures. One was done by Brito and Aguilar in 2007 that consisted of the choice of customer among the private dealers as well as the individual repair shops for repairing and maintenance of their vehicles. So this study suggested that there are many individuals who want to use the individual repair workshop over the private dealers, because the individual repair workshops provide much personal services. They were far cheaper than the private dealers, and they could be more flexible than the private dealers. Another study was done by Spragon, Brodolica, and Monosifor in 2012, where they studied a case of a vehicle repair workshop that was in the UAE for past 20 years using the existing manual paper system, and there was no update on the latest technology. So the son of the vehicle workshop wanted to upgrade his long-standing, long-running workshop, and when they updated into the automated one, there was significant increase in the revenue. There were a lot of customers coming to their workshop than ever before, and it was much more beneficial for their workshop. Now let's talk about Sprint 2. In Sprint 2, we completed additional literature reviews, created job card and sample draft, and created the questionnaire for the analysis, and listed the entities for the ERD. This is the example of a sample job card that was drafted in MS Excel, which included various information about the vehicles, personal details, as well as service history. These are a few business entities that we included in our project. And this is the questionnaire. We worked as a group in the whole project, and this was one of the main component of the project, as the feedback obtained from this individualized questions were very important for us to analyze and draft our project further. So now let's talk about Sprint 3. Sprint 3 was a lot hectic than the rest of the sprint, as it included a lot of work such as completion of XSA data collection and analysis, drafting the project deliverables such as ERD drafting, UCD drafting, UAT drafting. It contained review and feedback, and designing the promo video and poster. So these are the things we done in the group, such as creating the business entities, relating them with the ERD diagram as shown here, and then we also created the data dictionary for our project, and we worked on the UCD diagram and data flow diagram, which includes the things mentioned here, and we also worked on wireframing tools. And finally, we created a project poster that was for our project demonstration. Now let's be more specific and talk about the individual components. As a valuable team member of the group, I worked on many things, and one of the most important thing that I worked was on the 2B model. 2B model was designed during the Sprint 2, and it includes all the information from customer entering or making the booking until the customer's job is done. This was quite important for our project, where we can visualize how the system or how the automated system works in comparison to the manual system. This is the use case diagram, which is another area I worked mostly during the project. It includes customer, admin, user staff, and the mechanic, and their role with the various works. As we can see that they are all interrelated, and they have individualized roles as well. So this was one of the area where I worked during the project. This is the user acceptance testing that I designed, and I worked quite hard for this. It includes all the information about how the vehicle repair workshop worked on the users' needs, and it records all the information regarding that. Now let's talk about what I learned from the whole project. One of the most important thing that I learned is definitely to work in a team. I also learned very important information about using various tools to analyze the data, such as Blasemic tools and BPMN tools and other so many tools. During the project, I also learned the importance of promo video and importance of time management for the success of any project. And one of the most important things that I learned during the project was the normalization technique to remove the duplication of data, which I was not familiar before. So this is one of the beneficial things I learned during the project. And now let's talk about what I accomplished in the whole project. Although I worked as a group, I accomplished so many things myself, and some of the things are listed as there. Database designing was one of the greatest thing I have learned, and use case diagram and user acceptance testing, that were the very important things I learned or I accomplished during the project. I also helped in wireframing tools and using the various tools to design and edit the deliverables. How did I apply my specific knowledge to my project? Definitely, I applied my research skills and literature review skills. I also used my ER diagram skills in developing the ER diagrams and making the project more reliable. And my knowledge on agile-based approach on the project was quite beneficial for proceeding forward. My analytical skills to analyze the data from the collected surveys were quite helpful for completing the project. Talking about what could have been done better or about my recommendations, I would say there could have been more face-to-face sessions so that everybody would be able to communicate easily. As it was an online session, it was somewhat difficult for all of us to get the same time and work as a group. However, we still managed to do that. I would also say there could have been more meetings with the clients and supervisor so that we could have got more guidance and we could have improved a little bit better than what we have done. I would say the proper time management would have been there. Sometimes it was very difficult for all of us to manage the time because of so many things. So these are the things I would recommend for the betterment of the project, and I hope all these things will help you understand the project. Thank you.